All right, so let me take you through first few rounds of the solo. I start in this position of the C, pentatonic C minor. This is usually what I do. Slide and a pull off. So it's ghost notes. So basically, as far as the right hand goes, this is really a heavy hitter. Like usually, my songs are kind of on the mellow side as far as the right hand goes, and there's a lot of ghost notes and not as much of a strong right hand as this shuffle. And as I said, if I played as the first song in the set, you want to really let out all of it, and later on there's space for some more subtle stuff, but here you want to really concentrate on hitting those notes hard with your right hand. So it's that's basically the beginning of the song, all in C pentatonic. It's a nice little bluesy hammer. A few strings, right? I'm hitting first three. Ghost notes. That's the lick that I'm using following that. Which is you can go to the D, to the 9. As far as right hand, pretty loose. Whatever you hit, that's good. And the rest is going to be a slide. And let that note ring, I would say, Albert King style. That's usually the beginning of the second round. I would go a little higher, right? And then I remember going again to the D, which is and just be playful with it, I would think. You know, if you want to repeat, and if you want to repeat it slightly different than the first time or shorter, that's fine. Add-ons, anything that is in this very particular lick, I would think you loosen up the right hand and it kind of let it flow. Except for the very first note, I don't strum anything else hard. I kind of barely touch the strings, basically. All right, so that's basically how I established the solo. And as the song progresses and as the band gets into it and the energy picks up, we move on. I do a lot of these kind of things. In the real speed would be. Which is basically, again, the C pentatonic over on this position. Pull off, band. And you go back to one of these licks. Most of those licks happened from a mistake. You know, you wanna kind of play the same lick over and over again, and then you don't get to do it. And what I like to do is just just embrace it, embrace anything that wasn't planned to happen. And with time, it just became a part of my vocabulary here for this particular song. So that was basically that follow-up, getting us to the break section. Okay. All right. So once we get into the Hammond solo, which is in B flat, I'm kind of just comping along. Old school blues style. Try to get really in the pocket with the drums, with the snare, right? And when we move back, it's going to be a back to C for the guitar solo. Now the energy is high. I'm doing a lot of repetition over here. I think I started with stuff like that. And stuff like. So if I slow that down, I guess it would be. Right hand is just the very first note. The rest is basically just a lot of ghost notes. That would be that section. All right, so the next section, we're going to get out of the fast stuff and show off stuff and going to more feeling and more bands and more blues, sort of a crowd pleasers, more muscled up notes. Bands, when I do a band, it's usually I stack support of 3 fingers. I also give it a support of, I would think, my whole body. Now that I'm sitting here in front of you guys, that's unusual because I'm always on stage. So you want to do that band where your whole body is behind that movement. And that's, everybody, I think every musician has a signature, band. Like if you think of B.B. King, that was his signature thing, a band, the way he bends note and finishes off, and his thrill, right? That was a signature thing for B.B. So I think every musician has something that's a signature thing for him. In my case, it would be the move. When I do a band, I really support it with my whole body. At the end of that band, there's a vibrato usually, so you kind of squeeze out that note till the very end, like you mean it, right? That's how I bend note. So in this case, I think we went off, out of that fast stuff and show off to more like and a lot of stops at the end of it, controlled. And to finish it off, back to sort of the bluesy stuff that maybe Ronnie Earl would do, or some of the kind of a repetition on the blues things. That's that whole section. That's what it's all about. All right, so as we are working the end of the tune, now we are at the spot when there's the whole bunch of energy, right? The audience is already warmed up. That's what you want them to be after those 4 or 5 minutes. Basically, like my thought of here is like you hear different players, and sometimes it feels like those are licks that are just thought of. They learn them over and over again. They don't really, it doesn't feel like a part of them. You see, like this, in this case, in my case, I try to not think about the stuff I'm playing, but to really feel it and be one with the band, right? And make those licks feel like you invented them, right? So that the way you're gonna play them and where you're gonna play them and where you're gonna place them, that's going to be the key to them. You know, you've heard those licks before, but if I play them like that connected, it really does sound like, okay, this is Anna Popovic stuff. So that's what you want. You don't want to sound like you just learned them from somebody. In that matter, I take a lick, and if I want to repeat it, in this case, it kind of flows over the bar. Sometimes it's got a phrasing where he ends, the spot where the drummer gives that freedom. I give a lot of freedom to my band members to express, the way they feel the tunes. So in that matter, I'm very open-minded. Like, I want them to play, and I want them to give me their energy. So when the drummer starts doing those big fills, I like to either do a repetitive style, or I can do some bands that's gonna land on where they land their fill. So I'm always very aware of what the drummer is playing. That's the first thing I'm listening to, what the drums are playing. So in this case, I had. And that can, go. But basically make the closure of the song, I think, because it's been such a high energy tune. Let yourself go, I would say, and just be one with the band. They're all full of energy, and your solo should feel like it's not tamed, and it's just following whatever the drums and bass are doing. But that's basically the end of this tune. All kinds of. Big bands and the frills and yeah. And just have fun with it. And then don't take it too serious, I would think. All right, so these were some of the highlights off of the Honor Shuffle, the way I've been playing it for some time now. So I hope you like it. So why don't you pull up a track and then try out some of these ideas, and the most important thing, put in some of yours. Have fun with it.